Hi, and welcome back to the next part on Care4. I am going to be walking you through the dashboard today and running reports from the dashboard. So let's navigate right over to the dashboard. And we're going to not see very much. It just kind of has my to-do list and some clients, and the dashboard is empty. Now, the dashboard's fairly functional. It has a lot of options for us to do here. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to choose some charts. So let's say I want to see what the average session status for the members in the care model are. I'll click that and say Save Selection, and that should now show up in the dashboard. So in this clinical model, here is what our cancellation ratio is. It's mine, or I'm sorry, it's the models versus mine here. Completion ratio, the model versus mine, and the model has some of these other options. So there's one chart. This chart will now be there here when you come back and forth. So if I navigate out and then navigate back, that chart should automatically greet me. That's how the dashboard likes to work, right? Now, you're not limited to one chart. If you want to come down here and let's say we're going to go, you can click on it again to move off it, click it, say session status. Let's see, session status for the member, treatment progress. Let's try a few of these things. Let's see, that's a client's perspective. No. Let's just do these three. Let's take a look. I'm purposely staying off the report here. Let's just look at these. And when it says Google, it means it's using Google's charts to actually render it. It's not actually sending any of your information to Google. It's just using their chart rendering. So here's that. It kind of tiles these charts. See how they're tiled? Nicely tiled right there. Okay, so let's get down to reports. We're going to do a lot more of this and expect a lot to come. So you can only do one report, even though you can do multiple charts at one time. But if you click on report, it will see I have a chart selected and I select the report. The report's going to override it. So select on the report. Here's the activity report, the member activity report. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I am going to click on myself because I'm the only person as a member that shows up, and I'm going to click on arrange to look at. So I'll start there in March and today's date, and I'm going to say launch the report. The report launches, and voila, now I have a lot more information. So the member activity report talks about all the appointments that I've had over the time frame. So let's take a look. The first part is a summary of completed appointments and hours. So after saying how many things they're looking at, it says here's how they summarize. Contacts, 0 cancellations, 1 hour of completions. Behavior changes, 0 cancellations, 1. Engagement motivation, 1 and 1. Alright, let's go over to the right. Completed or incompleted. This is actually saying whether it's closed or not, whether you've closed it or not. And here I have 10 items that are not closed. And let's see, 5 marked completed, which 5 is closed. Let's move down to hours of the closed items here. So right here of the closed items, let's see how they break down. Well, 3 hours of those have been completed and an hour cancellation. The difference could be a 30 minutes. Things get rounded up. So for hours are rounded down. So this is why we have 5 and 4 here. It's probably because it hasn't quite met that next hour threshold. So in the outcomes, session status count, the outcomes are basically completed, 26%. We have 1 cancellation, and the rest are marked empty with no specific outcome because they haven't been done yet. So they haven't been, the outcomes here haven't been filled in, so they just shows that. And one last thing down here. Let's see if I can get it. Change my screen so you can see it a little easier. No, I'm not doing too good at this. Let's see. Can you see that? I think so. So back down to types. Alright, so it says these are the types that you see right here, and it's saying here's the breakdown of all the different types of appointments I had. Now, this data is all available right there. That's all the data, and it's been broken out into that way. So let's get back to what we were doing. And what can I do from here? Well, you have some other options. Let's look at some of these other options. We can either export it as an Excel sheet or download it as a PDF. Let's take a look at what the Excel export does. Say export to Excel. It comes down here, and we're going to click on that, and we're going to open the Excel sheet. And I'll bring it into view. Here's Excel. So we have this nicely exported in Excel. Here is all the data, and as you can see beneath, there are two tabs. It says appointments, and here's all my appointments, and then it goes table 1, and here's the summary that we just saw. Okay? Now, similarly, we close that. We can say PDF, and that should download a PDF, and I will open the PDF, and that information is also then repeated on the PDF. So, different ways of bringing that information out, and yeah, for the most part, that's what you can do with reports.